Alright guys, today we are going to be talking about how you can start your Pokemon business here in 2022. I know there's a lot of questions that come up, a lot of things that come up in your comments on what directions you should go and how you should go about this. So today I'm going to start this and kind of work towards more advanced stuff as we get going. But today, let's just start with the basics and get started on this. I know there's a lot of new people in this hobby and it's definitely something that should be discussed. So if you're new here guys, hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and as always, hit that like button. We get 70 likes on this video. It's greatly appreciated if you can do that. It helps us out on this YouTube algorithm to keep us moving along. Next thing I'm going to put in is a little announcement, last one here before tomorrow, which is we still have a couple seats available for our box break. So if you're interested in joining our box break tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Time, definitely go down to the links below in the video links and click on that and join. Grab a couple packs if you want or a set. There's 4 total. You get 2 Vivid Voltage, 2 Chilling Rain. And we're just going to sit down and just have fun opening packs, having discussions and live. And just go through these, and hopefully we can find a Rainbow Chunkachu or one of the many alternate arts from Chilling Rain. So there's a lot of opportunities in these packs, so hopefully we can get something good out of them here for you guys as we open them live tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. So please join us. If you don't buy packs, join us anyways. It's just a lot of fun to sit here and have talks and open up. Now, today we are going to be going into your Pokemon business in 2022, and I know this is something that should be touched on. Again, you know, times have changed from when the first videos were really done of these back in the 2021 early times and the late 2020, because the markets itself is completely different than what it was. And it's going back slightly to more of the sales and ideas and the ideals of 2019, early 2020, which is completely different than what we've been dealing with in the last 2 years. So if you're new here and you're looking at some of the things that have happened in the last year, on when you look at numbers and you're looking at pricing and you're looking at sales data and stuff, it's crazy. It's all over the place. It makes no sense. It's just complete and total just chaos when it comes down to these numbers for what happened. And it's unrealistic that if you're going to be starting a business or start doing stuff with Pokemon to get financial gains, it's going to be just absolutely crazy to look at those numbers and figure this out. So today I want to start by just going back to the very basics of starting a Pokemon business. Now, there are many options you can choose when you're starting this business, of course. You could sit here and sell singles. You can open packs to look for chase cards. You can, of course, do sealed product. You can do long-term and short-term investment strategies on that kind of product, or you could get linked up with the distributor and start working as an LGS from home. There are so many different items that you can do in this hobby, and there's plenty of room for everybody in it right now. There's enough interest in this hobby that we're not fighting for too much ground. Most places can't keep up. Yes, there's a lot of product available, but there's a lot of opportunities out there right now that you can actually work towards or work in to better yourself and have a sustainable or a small income or just a supplemental income for your home based on Pokemon. So guys, today we're going to go ahead and just discuss that. First thing I'm going to say is that figure out a plan. When I joined in 2019, I made the big mistake that probably everybody does when they come back into it. I left, I came back, and I got all excited. You just see so much happening and you start opening packs and you start ripping open sealed product. You're going for that big chase card because you see the numbers on that chase card and you see that there's all this potential in those Charizards and Arceuses and Rainbow Pikachus, and start chasing these things and spending all this money on that kind of stuff. And then you buy sealed product because you see people talking about sealed product and putting it away for the long term and doing all these things. And that's all the stuff that you hear from all the different YouTube stations. And there's all this kind of stuff going on. And if you try to tackle all of it at once when you first start, it's impossible, guys. You'll spend so much money so quickly. And I did it. I'm not going to lie. I spent way too much money when I first started into this, in 2019, because I was excited to be back in the hobby. It was not new, but newer to me because so much has changed in this hobby since when I left in 2006. So it was a completely new field of expertise, a new field of how things were going in the hobby. And there had been a lot of evolutions in that point. A lot of generations of Pokemon have gone through in that time span. So what I would always suggest is for anybody, when you start a business opportunity, whether it's selling lemonade stand out front to working in Pokemon to starting a corporate business, is sit down and figure out a budget. Budget yourself first. Find out how much money you can start with. Once you get that starting number for how much money you can start to put into this securely without draining your other accounts, without pulling retirement funds, without doing anything in Pokemon, unless you're going all out to LGS style, then you're going to be in a whole nother ballgame. But this is just for your small, like myself. I'm here in my little corner and I do my fun videos and I do my sales and I'm doing small things and make that little supplemental income in the Pokemon TCG. If you're going to be doing that, find it out. So let's say you got $1,000. Let's just start really small. And it is really small, guys. If you don't know, $1,000 in the Pokemon TCG is not going to last you very long. It's going to be just a starting point, but it's a good starting point, a secure place to look. And whatever that number is, if it's 5,000, 10,000, some people have a lot of money that they could be putting towards this in savings, that they would rather put this into something that could get them some supplemental income than just sitting in an account someplace. But if you look at it, let's just say you got $1,000 and that's your starting point. The next thing I would do is budget your household income. Start looking at what you have in your household. Be sure you pay your rent, all of your expenses. You're putting money in a savings account. You have 4 to 6 months in your savings account. And then you start to look at, okay, I got my retirement funds done. I've got all these things taken care of. I want to now put $300 a month into my Pokemon fund for either investment, my business, for purchasing things, whatever you want to do. That's what your little side fund is over here. And you continue to reevaluate that, especially right now. Try and reevaluate that every 2 to 3 months. It's a good practice, especially when you first start out, to continually reevaluate your numbers. Now, the next thing you know is once you have your numbers and your total amounts inside of it, now you can start looking at what your opportunities are in the market. And currently, if you're looking at about $1,000, I would suggest looking at the singles, like buying bulk, and look at the turning singles on TCG Player. A lot of times, if you follow Worlds, we kind of go through analytics on what's going on at Worlds. Those cards right now are selling incredibly well, and they do that usually from Worlds to Worlds. As new decks come out, as new cards become available, you can take bulk and sell it through and actually be able to dig through that. It's a little bit of labor-intensive work, but there is some opportunities in there to take a bulk card that someone would have sold you for like 3 cents and take that and turn it into a $10 to $5 card, just depending on what you can find inside of those bulk. The biggest thing is that you have to learn the bulk market and really focus on that if you're going to be going into that field. The next option you could look at is okay, I want to start doing short-term investments. So I want to look at buying booster boxes today, waiting 6 months, and then selling them again. Or, as soon as they come up to a certain point of value that I'm looking at. That's another great opportunity. And realistically, for $1,000, you could probably get 1 case of booster boxes and maybe a couple loose ones and put them on the side and wait a few months as your $300 is replenishing your account. So once again, you can continue to grow your account and purchase more product. And then as that product ages out. So for example, Evolving Skies back in December was $100 a booster box. We bought cases and shipped to our house for $104. Now we're selling those cases at around $175 to $185. We take that money then and roll it back into the account. And it only took about 5 months, 4 or 5 months to get to that price. Will that happen with every set? No, it will not. You have to do your research on what are hot ticket sets, what's going on. The next one I would suggest watching is Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars is a hot set. We had a lot of product release in the first couple weeks of that set coming out, and thus really drove the market pricing down. But we are going to be getting a reprint here shortly. They say May, but a lot of LGSs have not gotten any information on that yet. So I'm still curious to know if that's going to happen. So if we see that happen, there could be an opportunity there to purchase Brilliant Stars at around that $100 to $110 range in case forms, put them away, and once again, use that as your next supplemental down the road. Do I think the Brilliant Stars will be a great set to do this with? I think there's some great opportunities with it, especially with the talks of the town about Astral Radiance maybe not being as hot as what other places were hoping. They think that trainer gallery is going to be fairly good, but the set itself might come out a little weak. Once again, I have not done the research on this set, so I can't tell you for sure if that's what's actually the case. When the set comes out and I open a little bit of it, then I'll really break it down for myself to see where that's going. But if this is the case, that could really give you some opportunities with Brilliant Stars if we have a reprint coming in a little bit. Another one you could look at again is Evolving Skies. If we do get a reprint of Evolving Skies, it may be a fairly substantial one because of how well it's sold and how hard it is to find right now. Pokemon International might do a bigger reprint of that just because it's popular. When it does that, there might be an opportunity to purchase that again at around that $100 to $110 range. Hold it again for a little bit of time. It could be longer than 4 or 5 months this time. It might be more like a year. But once again, these are all opportunities that you could be looking for on that end of the business. The last thing you can do is you could just take that money and look at a long-term investment. Now that could be just buying some higher end booster boxes, some higher end products like your UPC or your Pokemon Center exclusive ETB from Celebrations. There's also some other products out there if you really want to dig through the exclusive and a little bit more of that higher mid-range stuff that actually will age extremely well. Maybe buying some more ETBs of Hidden Fates would be up your alley to put them away, or Shining Fates ETBs to put them away for another year or two and watch how far that ROR goes up on those in order to make back double, triple your amount on that set. So there's all of these opportunities right now that are available that if you can sit there and look, you can actually kind of look at where you want to go. And I would set up some goals: 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 1 year, 3 years, and then 5 years. And granted, these goals will change. They will adapt. They will change depending on what your actual target becomes. When you're new at 1 month, those 1 month goals are just something to get you started. Okay, I want to have this, this, and this in place in 1 month. And then by 3 months, I want to get this, this, and this, and I want to be purchasing my first item. And then by the first year, I want to have this much behind me while continuing to look ahead. You can continue to build these goals, and then you can build these goals as financial. Where do I want to see my budgets going in that amount of time? And also what you're looking at purchasing and time frames for those. So they can kind of line up. They'll change. I can tell you right now, when you're in any kind of business, we're always reevaluating goals, usually yearly, to see where our goals are going in 5 years. And it continues to just give us that outreaching target. But it's always adapting to the situations of the market. They're adapting to what you find as you start to go into this business and you start watching more things and you get more involved. You start talking to your LGSs, you start watching YouTube videos, you start interacting with you people in YouTube to get ideas and change your, changes or things that you should be looking for. Your direction will slightly change. And as you do, you definitely want to get that pinpointed again just to keep yourself in the right direction. And that direction may do this all the way to it, but at least you're going the right direction in your mind. And it gives you a goal or an actual spot to shoot for. So these are all things that I think would be really good. And if you're looking at starting, especially now, do your research further back. Don't just look at 2021 and 2020 figures. Go back to 2019, 18, and look at sales histories of things that happen, even all the way back to XY, back to 2015. There's still a lot of information out there that you can find with sales data all the way back to 2014 and 13. There's a lot of information that you can find for where things have gone. And then you could really see what the trends are that have been happening. And once you have the trends, you can really set your goals and set everything up in the right direction to give you guys the best success in the Pokemon TCG. And when you're looking at your business in the Pokemon TCG in 2022, these are some great things that you need to be watching for and definitely working towards. And be sure that you just watch your budget. Make sure it's expendable money. Don't be pulling money out of accounts that you don't have in order to feed this hobby. Be sure that you're pulling money that you know is safe and not going to cause an issue on that end of things. So hopefully this helps you guys. Hopefully this gives you a direction. If it did, be sure you hit that subscribe on this video. Make sure you hit that like button. It helps a ton to make sure you hit that like button. We get 70 likes on here, guys. It's great that you guys can push that for us. And last but not least, be sure you hit that notify so that you're up to date when we're doing new things. And as always, I'll put up these 2 videos up over here for you guys afterwards for more information. And we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.